Indiana University Northwest is celebrating Dr. King's legacy with events throughout the week, including a theatrical performance entitled Incognito. The one-man show starring Michael Fosberg is the true story of Fosberg's life. Raised in a working-class Caucasian family, Fosberg discovered in his 30s that his father is African-American. He recently sat down with reporter Sarah Holst to talk about the performance.
I've been doing this solo show for over 10 years, but I was a freelance actor in Chicago for many years, and I guess I still am. I just haven't had time to work on anything other than this. And I've worked in California and in the East Coast as well, in New York. So.
Okay, but this particular show is obviously a very personal topic. What is that like?
Well, when I first started doing it, it was nerve-wracking because, I mean, every time I was performing it, I was so close to the material. I mean, it's obviously a very, very emotional story. And it's the journey for self, the journey to find out who you are and where you belong in this world. And then all these characters, I mean, playing over a dozen different characters, all these different family members. And so doing it was very, very emotionally charged for me, especially when family members were in the audience. And I had a very difficult time getting through it. And then suddenly I sort of realized, like, if I was going to do this for any length of time, I was going to need to change that. There was no way I was going to be able to do it with that emotional charge attached to it every night. I would be racked coming off stage. So I started to think about, you know, what I was trained to do as an actor is to play characters with as much authenticity and truth as possible. But I started to realize that, you know, I needed to get that aesthetic distance from those characters. I needed to start to look at those as, this is a woman, her name is Adrienne Fosberg Pilibosian. It's not my mother. I'm playing this character, that's her name, and at this point in the play it requires this amount of emotion. And so I started to approach it in that manner, and so I got some distance from it. It's still emotionally charged when family members are in the audience, not as much as it used to be, but it's, still a little bit. But I don't feel as emotionally attached to it personally as I used to. So.
Gotcha. And we'll kind of step back for a moment and say that the performance surrounds your discovery of your own ethnicity. Is that a good way to summarize it? Or
yes.
If not, let me know.
Well, I mean, I always tell people I didn't know who my biological father was, and so this is the journey to go out and find my biological father. And indeed, I do find my biological father and find out who and what I am.
Incognito will be performed Wednesday, January 22nd in the Berglund Auditorium at IUN. The show begins at 6 p.m. and there is no cost to attend.